Welcome back, one and all, to The Horror Returns. I'm Lance. With me, as always, the always effervescent Brian,
I don't
and
even know what
the
that means.
always I don't either, and the always effluent Philip. What does that mean? Who's got a Who's got a fucking dictionary so we can look this shit up?
Bringing
That
your
sounds,
SAT words today.
All
that
right, but
sounded
the
more
most
sexual than your blue snowball. Is a
the
microphone.
most
All right, I'm sorry.
the most important part though is that we have the electrifying Steve Carlton from the Geekz with us again. What's up, man? 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, man, I mean, if you have listeners out there that hate me, then this is really bad for them.
I don't think there's a person in the world that
Sucks
hates you,
for
man.
you. They're like, oh, fucking 2 weeks in a row. God damn. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Thanks for having me
this
back,
week
man.
keep pulling me back. We're back to normal though with our shows with Steve. We're back to a Children of the Corn retrospective. Which two did you pick for us this week, guys? And I
Well,
say
we got.
guys because I don't know if Steve picked him or Brian. So
Oh,
No,
we're
it
we're
was
running through the whole filmography. We got was it Disciples of the Crow, the
yeah,
short film, which we
we
should have probably did when we did the original one, but I
hmm
forgot about it.
I never
And
seen it until yesterday. So
Yeah, me too.
what else we got? Children of the Corn,
Runaway.
Runaway.
Runaway. All right, cool.
How many
All
more of
right,
these
well,
things can there possibly be?
We got one more show coming.
that's
And,
it. Oh
and
no,
both of
I'm
them
gonna
are
miss it.
remakes of the original movie.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Oh, there you go. We'll come full circle. What's on the slate for next week? Oh, we got a commentary, right, Brian?
Yep. Little holiday commentary. What are we doing? Black Friday.
Black Friday. Get in line, folks.
The old one?
It's never too early to start shopping and spending that money.
Think you're
Oh, that's Black
confused, though.
Christmas. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I thought you were
not
No,
Black
we-
Christmas. I was
Philip.
like, oh no.
No.
We've been down
God.
that road.
Oh, thank God.
we reviewed that too. That was not a fun time. The original one with Margot
Christ.
Kidder was good,
Mm.
but
Which original? There's been like 6 of them now, haven't there?
oh, I call the Margot Kidder one original. that's my original.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So I don't know, we talked a little bit about the Geeks last week. Is there anything else new? Because I know we got a new Wrestling Returns up. So what's in the pipe, guys?
The big thing for the Geeks, the only thing new that we've done recently is we did a fight commentary for the Logan or the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. We did 2 undercard fights, and no, I think maybe it was actually just 1 undercard fight and then the main fight. We were talking and trying to get shit working while one of the undercard fights was going on, but it actually
Sure.
was pretty cool. We all came on in suits. We had,
Yes, you look
suits and ties.
spectacular.
We had a
You
little
look
sports
spectacular.
intro, like
You probably
Jay-
have more business there than Rosie Perez.
Oh man! Oh, we fan casted it. I was like, look, it's John Mulaney, freaking Maya Rudolph, and who did I call the other guy? Wayne Brady. It's like,
Wayne
it's those three.
Brady.
Brian was there. Thank you, Brian, for schooling me on who they were actual fighters, because I don't know boxing that well. So, which is crazy because I went to high school with a professional boxer and got in trouble by his dad, who was a security guard. But no, that was a lot of fun doing the commentary. That might be something we look at doing even more often than not now, especially because we had my buddy Jason on there, Jason Lino, and he was just running the show, man. He was just that guy.
Nice.
He was just constant commentary. So that was a lot
What'd
of
you
fun.
guys think about it?
Oh, and, the Jake Paul fight is my not cool of the week, but the lady fight before that was awesome.
Yeah, they were
Like,
beating the hell out of each other.
That one lady's whole shit was hanging out. I was like, I couldn't even watch it. I was like, oh,
I know. She had like
the
a
Irish chick kept punching her
big
right in the same spot.
vagina
like,
on her eyebrow.
But yeah, that Tyson fight, oof, it was just boring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what people expected out. Everybody's getting so upset
Right.
online.
Yeah.
I don't know what any. I think I didn't expect him to go all 8 rounds. It kind of got sad towards like round 6. I was hoping
Sure.
for like, let's get this wrapped up really quickly. But like he was just gassed and he's so tired at the end. But in watching the replays and stuff, it does. I love conspiracies, Phil. You and me both. So when watching the replays, there's plenty of times where it sure looks like Mike did not follow through and like had an opening and didn't take it, and lots of little things like that. I'm like,
There were some things like that, but also Jake Paul could have finished him off in the second round. Like,
well, he said after
easily.
the fight he was scared. He was terrified to be in there with him.
oh yeah,
Well, sure. He's got to say that, right?
I don't know, man.
He didn't have
I
to
saw
say
him,
that. He could have gloated.
He had Tyson stumbling, and he like just stopped swinging,
Yeah,
stopped getting aggressive,
all I'm
stopped going
saying-
in.
There's people pointing out Mike Tyson's training footage. Those are little short bursts of 20-second footage.
mhm.
Which is what he
Okay.
did at the very
Understood,
beginning of the
Ken.
fight.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I called. What I wanted was Tyson knocking him out in the second. The reason I said that because if it goes past second,
It's gonna
Tyson's
be-
not going to have his legs under him.
Mhm.
Sure.
It
Yeah.
looked like he had a bad leg anyway.
Boy, when that started though, with his quick feet, I was like, oh shit,
Mm.
he's gonna knock this boy out, and then it didn't.
And plus, everybody got to understand this is not Killer Mike anymore. This is
he's
lovable
58 years old.
old Mike.
He had a whole
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo cartoon. It was awesome.
I mean, after the fight, they made a joke. Why don't you fight Logan? And Logan was like, "I'll fucking kill you." And then Mike just
Oh.
kind of like, "Ah ha ha ha." That's not Killer Mike.
Yeah,
Killer Mike
That's-
would have beat him up in the ring right then and there.
that's true. He was getting pretty dark there before the fight, though. I thought he was actually going to be like serious. I think he was serious with it. The problem is he's almost 60 years old. I mean,
I did.
Father Time is undefeated, dude.
I did really like that. Like, Jake Paul came out with his fucking in a car with his whole fucking, big show and all this shit. And then Tyson came out by himself.
Yeah.
Just
Old
his-
school.
Yep. With his, I was
Yeah.
hoping for the hood. I was like, if we see the
Right,
hood,
right.
it's going
Yeah.
down. He came out without the hood. I was like, oh, that's the first.
No, but like after that second round when he could have ended
Uh-huh.
him easily, I think they both just sort of patty cake back and forth.
Kinda
I,
looked-
think-
I mean,
kinda
think about
looked
it,
that
I
like-
way.
think Jake Paul let him hit him a few times.
But if Jake Paul knocked him out, like, it'd almost be like, what are you
Right.
doing, man?
Yeah.
He's an old man. Why are you,
And I think
why are you
that's what it
knocking him
was.
out?
I
Like, he
think-
might not get up. That's
I think
that's a high age to
Yeah.
be taken, like, to be going night-night when you're not supposed to.
Plus,
Say-
it's just not a good look. It would have been sad, I think.
Say what you want, love him or hate him. Jake
Right.
Paul is a smart businessman.
Yeah, for
I'd say
sure.
so.
He-
I'd say so.
He's
He
playing
Came
the
up with
heel
this whole
hard.
fucking circus. He gave you the real fights before the main event.
And 2
That's
fights
true.
before the main event were
Yeah,
amazing.
both fights
Yeah, they were great.
really good. I don't
The
I don't
first
know
one
too
was
much-
yeah.
I don't know
And
about,
everybody
too much
is-
about all the boxers, but
and
the
everybody
fight
was-
before the female fight was good.
Everybody was coming down on Tyson. They said that man made 20 million for 16 minutes.
he
I'll
probably
take
still owes money to Don.
And then that's the thing, like that's what they made from the purse. But like all the other
Yeah.
crap, like how much are they getting paid for the logos they're wearing on their shorts? And how much did Jake Paul get paid for that little green or yellow can he sprayed on himself when he
Oh,
first
that-
walked into the
that-
stadium?
That's his product.
what
That
the hell
that
was
energy
makes
drink
sense.
all the boxers were
Is
drinking. That's his energy drink.
Celsius or whatever.
Philip,
Yeah,
did you,
I
did
saw this clip where like they were fighting the brothers because like they wouldn't let Logan Paul bring any Prime shit and he was all pissed off.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay,
surprised he
gotcha.
held up the can. Like
Yeah.
conflict of interest.
Those dudes are going to be super
Well,
rich for a
you
long
know.
time, I think.
On the
Seems that
wrestling
way.
returns, Nez asked me. I don't know if he asked me or if I was just talking about it, but I think Jake only has one big fight left.
You think
Money
so?
wise.
Yeah.
Nobody wants
Yeah.
to see Jake fight after Tyson. The only fight left is fighting his
Okay.
brother.
If he could, well, yeah, that'd be definitely fun.
That'd be a big one.
That'd be
Yeah.
way fun. But dude, Jake Paul's got some hands. I think he could fight a real
Mhm.
fighter.
You think
Yeah,
so?
Now,
I mean-
Logan Paul can't, but Jake can.
And what I mean by big money fight is he's not getting the 60 million to fight a real boxer. Because he fought a real boxer before when he fought Tyson Fury's brother, and he lost that one.
Okay.
Yeah, debatable, but yeah.
Oh, it was definitely could have went either way, but
yeah,
the actual only legit boxer he faced, he lost to.
I don't know. I was just kind of hoping for a Cinderella night, you know, stars aligning and seeing some cool shit, and like we got it, just not during the main event. That's all.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
But Phillip, it was still really good seeing him last that long, man. I couldn't do that at 58. Fuck that, you know.
True.
Like,
but what was sadder than Mike Tyson being in there was when they tried to interview Evander Holyfield, and they
I didn't even see that part.
Yeah, it came off like he just couldn't hear. They kept saying because of the noise in the arena, but they were asking questions, and he was like, "Huh? What?"
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
That's kind of weird.
I'm missing part of my ear. You gotta speak up.
Philip, you got to share that video with them, dude. The interview, the nihilistic Mike Tyson interview with the kid.
Tyson was like being interviewed by this little girl, and she like asked him about his legacy, and he's like, legacy don't mean nothing. It's just something that somebody made up. Nothing. When you're dead, you're gone. It's just dust. Nothing matters.
It got pretty dark.
I was like, damn. Mike Tyson, nihilist.
But I like, you know, nihilist Mike is kind of fun, but I like happy, sweet Mike too. Like I saw this video of him exchanging gifts with Evander Holyfield. He handed him a little present. He was all happy and giggly and shit. And Evander Holyfield opened it up, and it was a bag of gummy ears.
I was hoping.
Cherry flavored, and Evander Holyfield's like, my ears don't taste like cherries. And Mike's like, yes, they do.
Evander wants to finish the trilogy with Mike Tyson in a fight, and Mike just was like, the trilogy is our friendship. Can't do it.
Oh, wow.
See,
that's
Mike's
amazing.
coming around, man.
That's
you got a face
how old
tattoo?
is Evander, dude? He's got to be like.
How old did he look, or how old is he now?
That's what, I mean, they'd be out there in walkers.
It's the mileage, bro. They put a lot of miles on those bodies.
You can't get hit in the head that many times for that long and still be functional.
It's true.
So that's the not so cool of the week, Steve.
Yes.
Flip the coin for us, man, please.
Cool of the week definitely has to go to Cobra Kai Part 2.
Okay, I'll second that. So young past me.
Binged right through that shit, and you know, I don't know how spoiler we can get because it just came out. Oh man,
what do you think, Brian? Let's let Brian make the call on this one.
I mean, I'm not going to say names. I wouldn't say anybody's names or anything like that. But like something very bad happens to a child in this part 2. Something very bad. Something worse.
Worse than a broken back.
Worse than that. And it's like I don't know.
Something you can't come back from.
Yeah, like the whole episode leading up to that, I was like, "What is this Mickey Mouse shit?" And then that happens, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Are we talking Epstein Island stuff, or?
Oh no sexy time. It's just
okay.
It's
all
like,
right.
but it's
children on the show, Lance.
Yeah,
okay.
It's nothing dirty like that. But like, let's just say that there's probably a character that ain't gonna be around Part 3. So.
Yeah, they do an excellent job of leaving off a cliffhanger, because I thought it was just going to be one of those episodes where it just ends.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they left it off, I heard, we ain't getting Part 3 until February.
Not too long to wait.
Yeah, I think so. It was really good, but like. Everything is silly in the show still, except for the fact that, like, in this whole Part 2, like, it's just about all these kids fucking each other and like, getting drunk at parties and like getting into fights and shit. Like, what is happening?
It's all
I mean,
part
the kids,
of
they're all in their like late 20s now.
Yeah, that's right.
It's kind of weird seeing them. And then you did get CGI Pat Morita, which was a shocking scene. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I like the guy who they cast as the young Pat Morita. I'm like, that kind of works. And then Daniel San did the thing, and he looked through his hands, and it was like CGI. Old man Pat Morita, like, I would do that. I was like, what the fuck? And then, you know what? It actually looked all right. It looked all right.
Yeah, better than some of the Star Wars stuff, huh?
And what would Cobra Kai be without a whole scene dedicated to 2 old men beating the shit out of each other?
Of course.
Amazing.
Of course.
I love watching old guys that can barely walk through a scene. Suddenly, like, all you can see is their back and they're doing spin kicks. You know?
Art imitating life, right, Philip?
Yeah, there it is.
It's my wife was watching it. My wife was like, she's like, it's silly. I'm like, it is silly. I'm like, but like, I want to live in this world. Like, where random karate fights just put, like, that's how people squash their shit. Like, they,
That's how
I
you
don't see a lot of
handle your
drive-bys in
arguments,
Cobra
man.
Kai. I see,
Right.
people getting spin kicked in the face, and I'd much rather be able. I would go head first into the world. The worst thing I had to worry about is like getting a spin kick to the face, because like you
That's
got to
true.
put yourself in that position, and I would
Yeah.
just avoid
Yeah.
it.
Lot,
I want to be in that.
lot better to think of than like maybe Putin considering using nukes, right?
Yeah. There's that.
World War III. That'll do it.
Everything. Everybody's like, it's coming out in 2026. I'm like, is it?
Puts everything in
We'll
perspective.
see.
All right, so
But,
we got two for Cobra Kai for sure, right?
Yes, sir. Cobra Kai.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
jump in. I got some more alien stuff.
Here we go.
So on Netflix, there's a new one called Investigation Alien, and it's George Knapp through the whole thing. I don't know if you guys know
Okay.
who George Knapp is, but he is one of the original journalists from Nevada from way back in the day. He still works on one of their TV stations or whatever, but he brought Bob Lazar to the world and showed his story and all that. If it comes from George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell, it's legit stuff. All the other stuff, I don't know. But
Questionable.
yeah, but they have real sources.
like
They're not going to
Georgie.
put it out. Yeah, they're not going to put it out unless it's real. And they've got some. It's a pretty comprehensive view of what we know to date. And they even showed a video that I either saw and just waved it off as bullshit, or I haven't seen it. But it's this jellyfish video of a black ops site, a CIA site in Afghanistan.
They follow it for quite a ways in that video, man.
Yeah, and it's just this weird little fucking floaty thing just skimming across the top of and it's in IR, so you can't see it with the naked eye. But it's just floating across the whole site, and it's creepy as fuck. And it was released by like some CIA whistleblower who has yet to be named, but like a legit guy. Like, this stuff is fucking real, man. I'm telling you. They're just slow leaking it to the public. And I think this one was the most comprehensive, like, real shit that's out there. It's not super duper exciting. It's a little bit slow, but they've got some great stories. They go to Brazil. There's all kinds of shit in Brazil. They've had all kinds of encounters. So good stuff, man.
I watched at least one episode of that. I like George Knapp, but there
Yeah.
was just a couple of times in the show where he would like get told something by somebody, and then he would go tell it, but he would like add something. And I'm like, that's not what they said. And then he would like
The
go back and
telephone
do the
game.
thing, and then like
The
the lady would be like,
telephone game.
no,
Well-
no, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I said this, and he's like, oh, okay, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
It's also one of those where like every conversation is very scripted, and it's like you can tell. So, but it does have good information in there if you want to check out some of the newest UFO stuff.
We do need a new like we need new shit, some new videos to get leaked out there. Come on.
I'm waiting for them to like really give us some. It's like either shit or get off the pot at this point. You got to give me some.
Yeah,
like you say you have non-human biologics. Well, what the fuck does that mean? They're always so cagey about their language, and they're very careful with their wording. And so non-human biologics could be a fucking
That could be a
cockroach, I don't
germ.
know.
It could be
Yeah.
a amoeba.
Cockroach.
So I'm waiting for him
The problem is the AI
to bring the
videos
hammer
now.
down.
You just never know what's real. You see shit on, I'm like,
I
ooh, that
know.
looks good. Then I'm like, oh,
I
that's
see
probably
what you're
AI.
saying,
Probably
Steve.
fucking
See,
Yeah,
that's
the-
what I'm saying, because I've seen a lot of other footage. That jellyfish one was
that's real. I've
blew
seen
my
that. I know
fucking
what you're talking
mind, man.
about.
And there's all kinds of other footage out there of these like people catching pictures of these jellyfish things, and they look really similar,
Okay.
but like higher quality pictures. But I don't know how real those are. You know?
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, because some dude took a picture at Area 51 is a whole lot different than oh, the CIA guy fucking leaked it to the press because he was like, the
Yeah.
public needs to know this.
I want to know
And
what
so
happened at that mall in Miami. Remember when all that crazy shit went down?
Yeah, I
Nuh-uh,
never
what-
really knew. I
what
never
happened?
really got
And
the
there's
full
still like not a
story.
lot of information out there about
Yeah.
it. It's just like some
what do y'all-
weird
what do
shit
y'all-
happened.
Hold on, back up. What are y'all talking about? Mall in Miami. That's
Yeah,
close
there
to
was
me.
there was a story that came out, but I didn't really get the full story. I thought it was bullshit. I'm not sure what happened.
I remember when it was like it was shut down. Like there were
Yeah.
people live filming them shutting down the mall and cops and fucking all kinds of weird vehicles surrounding that shit everywhere. Like something happened for real,
Yeah.
for real. But like nobody
What was
says
it?
what happened.
I don't know.
And there's just a lot of weird conflicting reports. They were saying like there was some weird creature or creatures there. I'm like, shit. Like,
The fuck?
Might have been, man.
for real.
Well,
I'm like,
and that-
I don't know, right? But like, again, I'm a fan of the supernatural. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to live. I would love to believe, you know, and have a world where all that stuff exists. So
oh,
I'll
sure.
lean into it for sure. Like until you tell me there wasn't a creature, you can't. If you can't tell me there wasn't.
See, that's where I have to be careful because I want it to exist so bad that sometimes
Yeah.
I can get duped. But I'm telling you, dude, the government stuff is either so there's either a conspiracy that they've been lying and hiding it and covering it up, which is, you know,
Okay.
the normal alien conspiracy, or dude, they say that it's there. They've got ships, they've got non-human biologics, whatever the fuck that means. So your conspiracy theory now has to be, well, they're lying to us now. They're either lying to us then or they're lying to us now. There's no middle ground. So pick your poison.
My favorite conspiracies is the existing space fleet that we have had for decades, and there's like, you know, there's like whole stories. People come out and they're like, oh no, I fucking did this whole thing. It was like way over here in this other star system and all this
Right.
shit.
Oh,
like,
wow.
like that'd be fucking tight. Like, could you imagine? That'd
Yeah.
be so cool. The aliens are coming down, and then our government's like, okay, calm down, everybody, we got this. Like we've been doing this shit for a long time. Like, oh, but you couldn't figure out healthcare. Weird.
Yeah.
Brian,
Well,
Brian, you wanna weigh in?
I like the ones on the dark side of the moon or the hole
Oh,
in
the
Antarctica.
Nazis. The Nazis with
Yes.
The hole in Antarctica is the Nazis.
I like the whatever you get, like the footage that's supposedly found, like the archive footage from the dark side of the moon where it shows the structures and stuff like that. You know, half of that shit's nonsense, or almost all, maybe all of
Maybe.
it. I don't even
Maybe
know. But
there's
like,
a lot of weird shit on Mars and what seems to be nuclear fallout.
Really?
So yeah.
Huh.
Like maybe it
Brian,
used to be
I want to hear
inhabited and they
Brian.
blew
I want to hear
themselves up.
Brian weigh in. I want to hear
Weigh
Brian
in on
What
what?
do you think?
On what?
The existence of extraterrestrials, and like have they come here to Earth?
Been here.
Maybe been here the
Agreed.
whole time.
Could be on this panel right now. We wouldn't know.
shit.
Probably why we're here, I think.
Okay. That says it all.
Could be one of our subscribers.
Let us know if you have any inside information, dude on your couch.
That'd be awesome.
All right, investigation alien, huh?
Yeah, pretty good, man.
All right.
Little slow,
What else?
but good info.
All right, Brian. What do we got, man?
I got some shows. I got some movies. Since we were talking about fights, I also want to shout out the John Jones Stipe Miocic heavyweight UFC fight.
Is John Jones unstoppable?
Yeah,
sure
I
looked
mean
like
that guy did a spinning back kick to the body to probably one of the greatest heavyweights of the UFC modern era, and then did the Trump dance after to celebrate.
Is
Right in
that
his face.
flossing or what?
Dang, from a tummy shot. Like, wow. And then you get danced on. Oof.
That's rough.
It's a rough outing.
What else do I got? A couple shows. I finished Teacup on Peacock.
How
What'd you
is
think?
that?
I enjoyed it. It's not what I thought it was, Phil. I think you should check it out because it's.
Teacup?
I'm not going to spoil it, but it's right up your
Mhm.
alley.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it
So-
out. We got Peacock.
Hopefully it gets a season 2. I know a lot of these streaming services are really funny on renewing stuff. If it's not an absolute hit right out the gate, then it usually doesn't get renewed. But I think this and Hysteria, from what I understand, is going to get a second season.
Okay.
Okay.
Hysteria could if they want, like, that story's pretty wrapped up. But if they
Is
wanted
it?
to push it further, they could.
Go in a
I'd go
different
back to
direction,
that.
maybe.
It's a good show, man.
Checked out the first 2 episodes of the Creep tapes, the spinoff from the Creep movie.
yes.
Oh, is that out?
Been meaning to ask you about that.
It's exactly what we thought it was going to be. It was going to be little small episodes from
Okay.
each tape.
Awesome.
They're probably around not even 30 minutes. They're like 20, 25 minutes, 22 minutes, around there.
Okay.
They're basically what the movies are, but just in a shortened. It's a different victim every episode.
Sounds
Do they
fun.
still have time to get from, like, sort of cordial and nice to getting a little bit creepy to murdering?
That's the one problem I have with it.
Yeah.
I think the episode should have been a little bit longer, because it seems like he meets the person and then just instantly he's just fucking weird and wacky and
Yeah.
The
I can
magic
see
of
that.
editing. They just cut out all that stuff.
so that's on Shudder right now.
Damn, I got a lot of shit to watch.
I know.
Steve,
I added it
I
to
wanted to
my
bring
watch
this
list.
one up for you. I know you're a fan of Superstore. Have you
Mhm.
seen St. Dennis Medical?
I haven't, but I know that Sandra is in it.
A lot of people from Superstore is in it.
It does
Made by
look
the
funny.
same people.
Okay, Superstore is phenomenal. That show
Dude,
is dirty
is
too,
it?
man. In the later seasons, that show got nasty.
I didn't see the later seasons. I watched the first couple of seasons, and it was pretty fantastic.
Later seasons was
Pretty
all
good
about
stuff.
fucking.
Yeah, that was it. And especially
Who's
especially
fucking
after
who.
Dina wore the cop outfit on the Halloween episode, then the whole show changed. After that, I was like, oh.
So check that out. That possibly could be a replacement for Superstar.
What's that on?
Peacock.
Okay, I will check that out.
It looks funny. I've seen a preview or two for it.
Yeah, Beverly from the Goldbergs is running the hospital. So
Also from
David-
Reno 911.
David Allen Greer is in there. as a
Oh,
doctor.
Love
Nice.
Dag.
Okay.
Gotta have some Dag.
Hadn't seen him in a minute.
Let's see, a couple movies I watched. I checked out a found footage movie on Screenbox. It just dropped on Screenbox, and it's produced by JWoww from Jersey Shore.
What?
Okay.
Oh, produced.
No.
All right.
No, directed. Sorry.
Directed?
Directed.
Get the fuck
Oh,
out of here.
so it
No.
has to be really good.
I'll say, if you're into the like ghost hunting, put a scenario in where we have to end up with these cameras at some abandoned asylum. If you're a fan of those kind of movies,
Mm.
you'll really enjoy this one because it scratches all the boxes.
You
Oh,
gotta
wow.
get this
Okay.
grow some fucking bronze up in here.
Oh, if I remember correctly, in the very beginning, there is a bunch of bros thrown back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. They got the gelled hair and everything.
But I will say it fell short for me because if you're into that, then like I said, you'll be into this movie. But it's the same thing that you've already seen.
Nothing new.
Just come up with a reason why these random people need to meet up at this asylum with their cameras and walk around searching for something.
Yeah. That's how they go.
I mean, it's not bad, and I think it's
Uh-huh.
like an hour and 12 minutes. It's not even an hour and a half.
Okay.
So, like I said, if you're into the found footage, running around an asylum, scared in the dark type movies, then check it out.
Okay.
A lot of
Yeah.
shaky cam.
JWoww.
Let's shake.
And another down point for that movie, it was fucking hella dark.
Just,
Oh,
you only get
no.
the
Hard to
the
see what's
flashlight
going on.
view.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because,
boy.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because these are like random average people, so they wouldn't have like night vision cameras and all the.
Sure.
Did I miss it? What was the reason they went to the asylum? What did they give?
They all went crazy.
The movie's called Devon. It's
Uh-huh.
Devon is a girl that went missing at a children's asylum, and years later the asylum's abandoned, and this mysterious website pops up, and it's asking people to, if you stay the night at the asylum, you'll get this amount of money. You gotta find answers on what happened to Devon, and of course, like 5 random people want the money for different reasons. It doesn't even matter what they need the money for. It's just they get there, and like I said,
they all get there at exactly the same time on the same day.
House on Haunted Hill.
They all come from different
Scooby-Doo.
directions of the asylum.
Almost like
Steve,
it's predetermined.
you can make a movie. Just come up with a scenario why these people need to be at this.
You don't even really need to. Like when we did our retrospective on I Know What You Did Last Summer, like on part 2, like how do we get them onto an island? Like we'll just make up they win a radio contest. a radio contest that calls them. Like,
that's not why we're watching the movie.
Yeah, it's like you don't even need reasons. That's funny.
I'm trying to see. I think there was one more movie I checked out. Oh, Black Cab on Shudder, starring Nick Frost.
And directed by Snow.
Oh, is that the cool of the week then?
No, it was boring as hell.
Wow.
Nick Frost is awesome in it. He plays a cab driver.
Shame.
He picks up this couple, and a lot of weird shit happens. You don't know if it's supernatural or if he's just fucking crazy or whatever. But it just wasn't enough of Nick Frost in it for me.
Okay.
Kind of wanted the movie to be more
That's
about what he's going through. But it's new on Shudder. You got Shudder, check it out. But Cobra Kai will have to be my cool of the week.
There you go. Trifecta.
They brought back a random ass character from Karate Kid 3.
When they showed him, they're like, remember him? And then I was like, who the fuck? And then they did the flashback. I'm like,
I was
shut up.
That's right.
I'm like, you're fucking
Very
digging now. Like Hillary Swank has to come in.
But Steve, you got to admit,
if I watch
it was a nothing throwaway character, but it was fucking cool as fuck.
It was.
They just keep connecting the dots.
Like none of these people moved. None of them moved away, and like but now they're all in like, where are they at? Like in Singapore or some shit, like, or I don't even know where they're at. Or they're in Brazil. They're in
Barcelona.
Barcelona, man. Barcelona.
Where apparently the
Mike Tyson
entire world knows karate.
Yes. Look that way. But it's good fun. Good, clean fun.
Yeah.
I did like, there was like a scene where like, Daniel San's wife is trying to get her son to apologize to one of these other kids, and they start fighting. She's in her car and she like looks up, she's like, fucking karate. So she's so fed up with this shit.
Yeah. Well,
she's like the sane one walking through this insane world of people
and then she's
fighting
watching
all around
on the
her.
screen as this part of the finale happens, and I'm just like, oh, she's for sure done with this shit now. Good Lord. So that show's good, man.
Yeah, good show. All right, cool. So Brian, we got to have some headlines this week, right?
Yeah, we're gonna start with some TV news. Lady Gaga joins the cast of Wednesday season 2.
Okay.
Is it gonna be a musical?
Yeah.
No. Ask Lance. He'll keep you up on the musical news.
That's right.
You got your tickets to Wicked already, Lance?
Absolutely. Opening night.
I knew you was gonna watch that shit.
I find almost everything about that like insufferable.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Like all the commercials, especially the Target one where she's like, the girls like singing with their giant platform shoes and all this. They're just like, I just want to change it.
I'll do you guys one better. I actually, AJ and I actually saw it on Broadway several years ago. So there you
Well,
go.
that
Now-
makes sense.
But now, far be it for me to be like shitting all over it. It's not my cup of tea, but that
Yeah.
sure does have its fan base, and it was a huge
Yeah.
musical. It's getting really good reviews already. The movie,
Is it?
IGN gave it a
Okay.
9, but IGN doesn't know its ass from its face because it gave Penguin a 3, so it's fucking dumb.
I heard good things about Penguin.
Penguin's fantastic. So
Yeah, I did ask my daughter just to make sure. I was like, "Do you want to see this movie?" And she gave me a look
Mhm.
that I think I would have allowed her to say what the look meant because she gave me a look
Right.
of fuck no.
well, I was hoping that it would be based on the book, which is not a musical.
Right.
But no, it's based on the play. But I'm sure they're going to take some elements from the book. It's a movie,
You
so
would
they're
think
going to have
so,
to
right?
add some more stuff. You know, it's not a
Sure.
stage production. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna at some point going to see it, but I'm not paying to watch that. I will find it
Yeah.
and watch it another way because
I've never even seen Cats, so I don't think I would watch Wicked.
That one you can skip.
I don't want to see Cat, but
That
I
one you
like
can skip.
I like the
I
Wizard
watched-
of Oz. So like as the property, like there's all the different takes on it and stuff. So
Right.
I
I'll check
watched
it out for
Cats as like because I hate myself. I think.
Oh, it's horrible. It's fucking
I just had to
horrible,
see
yeah.
it because it was so bad. I was like, okay, if this is the worst movie ever, I have to watch it.
Yeah.
And
you were
then it
close.
kind
And
of
it was? It
yeah.
was?
It kinda was.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
It kind of was.
because it's that bad and so much money went into it, and there's so
I
many
know.
people involved, and you're like, not one of you motherfuckers looked around and was like, what are we doing?
The fuck are we doing?
It's like every time something happens, some new character comes up, and I was like, what
Right.
in the fuck were they thinking? Doesn't even make any sense.
Well, speaking of what the fuck were they thinking, from the makers of what is it, the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movies,
Blood and Honey.
Ah,
Okay.
Popeye, the horror.
I heard
movie.
about this one.
Oh.
Yeah.
underrated movie, the one with Robin Williams. I love that Popeye movie. I watched that a million
it's
times
funny.
growing up.
It's funny. It's a
What's
musical.
her name was Olive Oil from The Shining.
Shelley Duvall.
Yeah. See, that's where I knew her from before I ever watched The Shining.
Oh, Popeye.
I only remember the opening scene where they're running through that weird town on stilts and shit.
Right.
That's the only part of that movie that I remember is that
I don't remember anything
randomness,
about
and
it
then that was
now.
it.
But
yeah, it's been a while.
I must have watched it 100 times
So-
when I was little.
We touched on we touched on this on the Geeks a little bit on Saturday, but we were
Uh-huh.
wondering if like you were gonna hear like people are gonna be like on the boat or wherever trying to hide from Popeye, and you're gonna hear like heck, 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 or something in the
Oh, I'm
background.
sure,
Like,
yeah,
oh
I
shit,
guarantee
you
it.
know, like,
Guarantee it.
like I smell spinach. Like oh
That
no,
sounds
he's
perfect.
close. Like,
Give me the spinach.
his
He
giant
turns into this big
forearms.
mutant fucking beast. That'd be awesome.
Right. Huge forearm goes right through somebody's face.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna have to like say his taglines like after he kills somebody. He's like, well, blow me
course.
down or whatever. You know?
No, that's Popeye the porn version.
It's made by the same people that made Blood and Honey, so we might get a little bit of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, might get some TNA.
Let's see, Melissa Barrera. She's going to be in a Western thriller called The Cradle of Granite.
Okay.
We need more Western thrillers.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
give it a
scary
shot.
westerns.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I had that thought the other day. Like, why don't we have like a slasher movie, right? But it
Mhm.
takes
Yeah.
place in the Old West. Like,
That
it could
would
be,
be amazing.
it could be
That would be amazing.
all Old West setting. Like, just everything's normal, but there's a fucking masked killer running around. Like, how would those people deal with it? And they'd get a posse together, and like crazy shit would happen. And
Yes.
like, why
Or
don't we
even-
have that?
Even something like The Witch, but in the Old West, you know? Like, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
That's true.
Bone Tomahawk was kind of like that.
Oh, that was amazing.
That was a good one.
Some news for you, Lance. The Heretic filmmakers have ideas for spiritual sequels.
Okay. So kind of maybe different casts, but sort of going
Well,
around some of the
I
same
think you would have
concepts,
to have
maybe.
different casts.
Spoiler.
Well, I don't know. You might have had one final girl, right?
But
What does that
But,
mean,
like, you could-
spiritual sequel?
That's what I'm wondering.
like maybe Hugh Grant had like he was like part of a group. They were all spread
Oh.
around
That would be interesting.
And you could just drop in random British actors from the 90s and make them do creepy shit.
That's right.
Or
Pepper
he
in.
comes back because it's all a simulation.
Can have what's his name?
There you go.
From Steve from the Kingsmen.
Oh, Colin
Oh.
Firth.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That's a good one.
He could pull it off. I think he could pull it off.
Put Ray Fiennes in there as one of them.
Yeah.
Why not?
John Cleese.
Oh, if we're going John Cleese,
Ministry of Silly Walks.
then we have to go fucking Tangerine. Fucking Alfred from Batman. I can't think of his name. Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
So Michael Caine.
For sure.
You should have
That
said
would've been
fucking who from Jaws the Revenge. Then we would have known what you were talking about.
That's true. Hey, he does not hate that movie.
No, bottom of beach house. I understand.
Speaking of shark movies, Under Paris is getting a sequel.
I did not watch that. Is it worth it?
I know,
I usually
Yeah,
wait for
it
you
is
guys
a
to say.
Fun movie.
I
Is
heard
it?
it's
Okay,
great.
cool.
I heard,
I'll
yeah, I
It's
heard
watch
really
fucking
good things.
stupid, ridiculous, but it's fun.
But Santa Jaws was stupid and ridiculous, but I had a lot of fun with that.
That wasn't
too.
fun.
I thought it was hilarious with the sleigh bells every time the shark came. It wouldn't have been, it would have been like a 2.
And it was filmed like in a what would they film it in, like a lake or something?
But like it knew how shitty it was. No one was trying. Like
That's
it was fun. I can appreciate movies like that.
true.
Like everybody probably had a blast making this.
I would imagine.
Mm.
I'm sure everybody on the set was blasted too. Any kind of drug they could find.
All right, a couple more things
Just a
here.
guess.
I think we
That's just what
talked
I'll
about.
guess.
I think we talked about before. Finn Wolfhard was writing and directing a horror comedy slasher called Hell of a Summer.
Mhm.
It's getting a 2025 summer release date.
All right.
Put his big boy pants on. Okay. We'll see how it goes.
Sure.
Give it a shot.
I'm like, just give me the finish Stranger Things, just so we can
Yeah.
just move on.
We're
I hate that
almost
it's just
there, Steve.
dangling in front
We're
of us.
almost there.
Yeah, what is this bullshit teaser trailer of the episode names?
Just the names, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the
Kinda weird.
disappearance of Blurry. I'm like, God, just put the
Gotta
like. You remember how
Keep
the
the
last one
mystique,
ended, right?
man. Keep
The last one
mystique.
ended with the whole group standing there looking as their
Right.
town was about to get fucked, and like now you're like, it's been a time jump. What?
Yeah, I know.
They are
What happened?
prolonging this release date, kind of like it took 30 minutes for the Jake Paul Tyson fight to start.
Mhm.
Yes,
Millie-
at least.
Millie Bobby Brown is a married woman. So
She'll be
like,
divorced by the time this is out.
they're gonna have to wrap this up before she's got a baby bump to hide. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
no
Like,
kidding.
And lastly, Finn Wolfhard news again. He is writing and directing an Idle Hands remake, which is being produced
Okay.
by Jason Reitman.
Sure.
Now that's
He's
tricky
got 2 movies
because Idle Hands is one of my favorites.
going?
Yeah.
The
So you afraid
VHS
they're
in
gonna
my-
mess it up.
The VHS in my collection of Idle Hands is mine from when I was a kid. Like
Nice, nice.
it's
Sentimental value.
yes, it's not a great movie, but I love it. I'm a big fan of Devin Sawa, just like you guys. And also Eldon Henson and Seth
Swan-a-sons.
Green killed it in that movie. Yeah, Swan-a-sons and Jessica Alba.
Oh yeah.
Like-
Oh my God.
The movie's fantastic. Vivica A. Fox is terrible as always, but it's awesome, Like the movie's gold. So there's gonna have to be careful. But that movie's a time capsule too.
Yeah. Well, what do you want? What do you want to bet Devin Sawa shows up like as an older, maybe like one of the teachers or the principal or something? Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be great. Like with one hand. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a different role for him. That guy would never be a school principal.
No. Well, he played like 4 different roles in Chucky the series, so who knows?
Who would he be? He could work at that burger
He
joint.
could be the one-armed janitor.
He would take over Vivica A. Fox's role.
Okay. All right. I can see that.
Drawing pentagrams connecting random cities that don't have anything to do with each other on
Yeah.
murder boards in your van. I love when that's like, holy shit. What? So good.
Wasn't even a perfect pentagram either that she drew.
Pentagram
The circle. She's like, she had to lean a bit to make that circle count.
Yes, yes.
Like,
Go way
Good
out
police
here.
work.
I love that.
Well, I'm trying to pull up something I seen Devin Sawa say. He says he's excited. So
Okay.
But it seems like an idea that could happen again. Like,
yeah.
Sure, sure. Yeah, just set in like more of a modern timeline, I guess.
Yeah. Plus
oh,
upgraded
man,
for
all the texting and bullshit they're
I
gonna talk
know,
about.
I
like,
know.
ugh.
yeah. I think I like the 90s better. But
Yeah.
Right.
it is
I like
it does make sense. Bring it to a new audience with the new, I mean, because it was very 90s, right? Right, like
Yeah,
the fashion
true.
sense and all that shit. And so
I'd
they're
like
just
to
gonna
see
have
what this
that with the
kid
new
can
version.
do.
I
I'd
think
like
it
to see
works.
what this kid can do since he's seemingly trying to
Yeah.
step away from what I understand, he's trying to step away from being in front of the camera and be more in the director's chair and do shit with his band.
That's kinda
Sounds like
cool.
he's definitely a fanboy. So I mean, I think it's gonna be good. I'm gonna give it a shot. Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
All right, that's the news.
Cautiously
All right.
optimistic. How about that?
Cautiously optimistic.
There it is.
Speaking of being cautiously optimistic, Steve, are you ready to cautiously and optimistically take that little trip with us down to the trailer park?
Let's go.
All right, Brian is going to bring us the big, the small, and sometimes the very, very weird, sometimes even invisible. What's up this week, Brian?
Well, we definitely got weird and invisible. We got The Invisible Raptor, the new horror comedy,
Okay.
directed by
Well-
Mike. What was that?
Little light on the trailers this week, are we?
It's the holidays.
Okay.
Well, we could have reviewed the Stranger Things episode titles.
There you go. I think we did.
Well, there's words.
This is directed by Mike Hirosima, and this is starring, the only one I know is Sean Astin.
Okay.
I see character actors in there though.
Yeah,
people
there's-
that I've seen
Yeah.
in other things.
Yeah.
Like the old lady, I'm pretty sure that she's from like, she might be from like Napoleon Dynamite or something.
Well, wasn't
Like,
the Jump to
God.
Conclusions guy in here?
Was he? Was
oh,
in
he was.
there?
I think he
Okay.
was in there.
Okay.
He's like a security
He was. I saw him
guard
with
or
like a
something.
big mustache
Yeah.
in the back. Yeah.
What'd you think, Steve?
Well, if you know elevator pitch, you're like, here's my idea, right? It's a dinosaur movie, right? But like, it's gonna cost you nothing because it's an invisible dinosaur. It's like sounds ridiculous, right? And it is.
Right.
The movie looks like it's gonna be funny, you know. Again, this is kind of like what I was talking about with Santa Joe's. It looks like everybody here is having a fucking blast. Sean Astin's sitting in this weird bat cave with a lab coat. What the fuck are you doing? I love the
invisible
explanation.
dinosaurs, dude.
I love the explanation from the guy at the end of the trailer. That was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well that sums up the movie. And you know, you're gonna have the paleontologist guy kicking into the air, and the camera's gonna follow nothing, and then you're gonna see a puff of dust. Like, it's so good.
Right.
I thought the trailer was pretty good, pretty funny.
Bill?
Yeah, so I first saw the title on the screen when you sent it over, and it was like The Invisible Raptor, and it was sort of this serious looking guy with blood on his face, and he had a gun out.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what is this bullshit? Whatever. I clicked on it, and I'm like, man, it'd be really cool if they actually did make a movie about an invisible raptor. I mean, I'm sure that's not what it is, but and then sure enough, it is.
I think you click on it thinking it's some art house movie.
I thought it was gonna be some stupid art house movie or something.
Uh-huh.
And then it started going, and I was like, oh, I'm down for this 100%.
Yeah, it's like
I wanna watch it.
Velocipaster. Like we're
Right,
here.
right.
Like this. I'm here for that shit. I love that
But this
shit.
this probably looks way better than Velocipaster.
I would imagine.
Lance?
Yeah, no, it looks fun. They got good in jokes. Like he's starting to talk about the Invisible Man movie, and he's like, no spoilers. I haven't seen it yet, so it's kind of cool. Like a nice little movie that was made probably by fans, for fans, for, like you guys are saying, little or nothing. Now, there was one scene that kind of made me wonder and scratch my head. So it's an invisible raptor, but wasn't he holding like a visible claw or something like that fell off the raptor or something like that? Or
Well,
am
I mean, he's at a museum, like zoo
Okay.
thing area. I was just assuming that's just
for
probably just
comparison,
there.
right? Like a
Yeah.
raptor claw for comparison.
He
Okay.
probably grabbed that
Yeah,
and
no,
was
I'm-
like took it over to somebody's neck cut and was like, they're gonna like put it right next to it, like, look, it fits right.
Did the invisible raptor shoot a shotgun?
Yes.
Yes.
Upside down.
Okay. That's what I needed to know.
That happened.
Yeah. It looks like fun. It looks like fun, Brian. You picked us a good one to watch. I'm sure it's going to be straight to streaming, so hopefully
Now-
we'll be able to find it if nothing else out there,
It's
pretty early.
It says it were released October 20th, so I don't know if that was a limited
just-
release.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll have to enter that into
Well.
the search bar.
We have a ways to or was it October 20th this year? Like, is it already out, or are we talking about a year from now?
there's no way they're delaying this movie a year.
Okay. So
But
we
that
gotta
begs the
find
question.
this, right?
The guy at the end, that begs the question. He's like, they're like, how did you make dinosaurs? Like, did you ever see Jurassic Park? We did that. Like,
Right.
okay, that sums it up. How'd you make him invisible? Like, you ever see The Invisible Man? Like, so did they cover him in some juice or did they give him a mirror suit? Like, which one did they
Right,
do?
right.
Did
I
they give him, like, is
want-
it the updated movie with the suit?
I want him to be wearing a mirror suit.
Oh, that'd be
Somehow.
great.
Oh no.
Somehow they developed a suit for a raptor to
Right.
wear, and that's what
Oh
it
my
is.
God.
That would be hilarious. I just imagine, like, a raptor's head coming through the blinds in Jurassic Park, right? So the blinds open
Sure,
up,
sure.
but then just take the raptor away. So the blinds still open up, but there's just nothing there. That's the
Why
movie.
not,
It's
man?
fucking
You
great.
can see the
would
fishing
think-
line, like when we
You'd
were in
think it would
Hanky
lose
Panky.
the effect.
And you see the raptor at the end, like on fire. So at some point they're gonna, and they see him a little bit like with like predator vision. So at some point they get like a
Sure.
thermo camera or something. So you're gonna get little glimpses, but
Well,
Which
they
is what
do-
that
they-
jellyfish video was, by the
They
way.
do drop
Yeah.
a predator line in there.
Yes, they
Oh, they
do.
did.
Yeah.
If it bleeds, we
Complete
can
with the
kill it.
face paint.
he throws him the gun. He's like, there's 2 shares of town. Throws him, and he drops it. He's like, that could have been so cool. That's gonna be funny.
All right, that's our only trailer.
Okay, I guess that means it's my turn. Since I pull my shit up here. God damn it. All right, here we go. Listener feedback. This week we signed the podcast spotlight on Cinematic Suffering. Cinematic Suffering is a podcast that delves deep into the raw emotional experience portrayed in film, exploring the complex nuances of human suffering through iconic movie scenes and character arcs, offering a critical analysis of how cinema captures the depths of pain, loss, and trauma while inviting listeners to reflect on their own lives through the lens of the silver screen. Cinematic Suffering. Check that out. And we've got some
feel good podcast of the year, huh?
telling you some Hellraiser stuff in there. In regards to Repo, the genetic opera.
Good luck.
Yeah, Sackbrina? Sorry. Vorman says classic. In regards to Terrifier 3, Chanel Cartier says Art was smacking the fuck out of the back of Sienna's head in this movie, and that was my favorite part.
Jesus
Every time he
Christ.
walked past her, wham! And was that before or after she was wearing the crown of thorns? Either way, it was fucked up.
Darren Roden says didn't enjoy this one. Didn't enjoy this one. Absolutely terrible. Oh wow, the other two were far better, and they need to up their game for the fourth. What? James Jack said, I bet they had the best laugh ever making that.
Probably so.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I liked it a lot. In regards to Tusk, Lorena Crow says, I could have gone without ever watching this.
Aw, Tusk is fine.
I liked it. It stuck with me.
But I have a bias though. I like Kevin Smith. So
See, and I really like what's his name?
Justin Long.
Justin Long.
Justin Long. Yeah.
And
He's
Michael
always fun.
Parks. Michael Parks is great. He was good
Oh,
in Red
he's always
State.
great.
Yeah.
He's always great.
What's his name? Was the friend Haley Joel Osment?
Oh, yeah.
And they were podcasters. Come
right.
on. Maybe scratching all the things.
In regards to The Witch, David Glazener says, excellent movie, great period film. Leave the subtitles on. It's easier to follow.
Makes sense.
True,
Yeah,
true.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
It gets easier as you go. But at the beginning of the film, you got to get used to it.
Right.
Matt Moon says, my favorite movie of the last 25 years.
Damn.
Hmm.
Okay. The Witch.
I guess so.
It's right
Alright.
up there with Heretic, huh, Lance?
Not quite, but it's good. It's good. It's yeah, it could be in the top 20 maybe.
Is that your number one movie of the year?
The Witch?
No.
Heretic.
Right now it is. We'll see if anything.
Oh.
What do you mean
knocks
right now?
it
It's the
out.
highest scored movie.
I think that's the
Dude.
highest score you've ever given.
Okay, but what if Night Swim 2 comes out between now and December 31st, Brian?
Well, that
I
has to
highly
win.
doubt it.
Day Swim.
The only big movie that's coming out from now is
Uh-huh.
Nosferatu.
That
Ooh,
could
that
be
looks
good.
real. That looks really good.
Coulders look amazing. Yeah.
And they
Man,
said that could
AJ's
probably
even
been-
down for that one.
That could have been in news, but they said you will not see what Nosferatu looks like until you watch the movie.
Okay,
Okay.
that's cool.
I like that. I like that.
All right. In regards to Abigail,
Abigail.
David Barta says, my favorite film of 2024 so far.
Okay,
Was that
speaking of
2024?
which,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
oh,
was,
yeah.
and it doesn't feel like it. It felt
Yeah.
like it was last
Speaking-
year. But
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of David Barta, buddy, listen, man. We asked you last week. I sent you an email
Stop
today.
harassing the man.
We gotta. I'm harassing you, David Barta. We gotta know your picks, dude. I know everything. What has he brought up? Like 20 movies to recommend for his Patreon picks. Every single one of them we've reviewed. So
You've only
okay,
shown me
Black
3.
Sheep. We already said Black Sheep. We haven't seen, right?
Yeah.
If you need ideas, just email us, David. Just let us know, dude. We want to get you on the show so bad. So we're gonna figure this out.
All right. And
you're gonna keep having me back until you.
There you go. Every fucking week until you come on, David.
Speaking of David, he's here on this one too. In regards to Lights Out, he said, "Love this one. Teresa Palmer is great." And
Have
in
we done that
regard-
one, Brian?
Have we done that?
that?
I don't think we have.
I don't think so. I'll check the
There's another
spreadsheet.
idea.
It doesn't exist.
Okay, that's right.
No, I
Hey,
think
but
we've
you know,
all
after
talked
you get
about
to
it at
a-
some point. But
After you get to a certain amount of years doing the show, you could just
Yes.
review it again. That's what
Yeah,
we're doing.
that's
we're just
true.
reviewing shit again. Like I don't know.
in regards to Shadow of God, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Shadow of God. Another one we haven't covered, David.
That's
Doug-
the Willem Dafoe Nosferatu movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, another one. Because he's in the new one too.
Doug Huxley says, "Can you include info on the release date of the movie in your posts, please? I never know whether it's concept art, a movie being made,
Who
or one
knows?
that's already out." Good point.
I don't think
Look,
the
man.
filmmakers even know the release date half the time.
Look, you have the internet.
Reverse image search like the rest of us do.
In regards to Slumber Party Massacre, Mark
Okay.
Komarzinski says a good slasher with a young Brink Stevens, even though she doesn't last too long. Plus Robin Still and the
Yes.
cute Andre Honor. Sure.
That is a movie we did cover. Vanessa was with us on that one, if you guys recall.
Ah.
That was fun.
And the upcoming horror version of Pie Pie, Mauricio Colombo says, "No, please, no."
So if Popeye's the villain, will Bluto be the hero?
Or Bluto's the villain.
They team
Maybe.
up. Who knows?
Maybe.
Olive's
That's
the
a good point.
hero.
Yeah, she's the
Olive
final
Oil's gonna
girl.
be the hero.
She's the
Olive's
final.
the final
Ah.
girl. Olive's the final girl.
Maybe it'll go back classic. Popeye's trying
Or
to
it's
save
just
her
some
from the
chick with
evil
black.
Pluto.
It's probably just some chick with black hair and a red shirt, and Popeye thinks it's olive oil. See?
Oh.
Maybe it's
okay.
like Winnie the Pooh, and all the Popeye characters are evil.
That's
Oh, that
likely.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's
Yeah.
likely.
So you have an evil olive oil and an evil Popeye and an evil Bluto, and they're just wreaking
Sure.
havoc.
And then you got that hamburger guy,
Like
the
the
guy that'll
Strangers.
pay you
Wimpy.
Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Oh,
yeah, Wimpy, you got that guy.
Yeah.
Oy, oy
Oh, I
vey.
can't wait for him. I forgot about him.
Oy.
What's his name? Wimpy.
This is getting worse and worse, guys.
What are you
All
talking about?
right.
It's getting better.
Well, like what's in the hamburger, right? What's in the hamburgers?
Where's the beef?
That's the nice one. He just kills you with poison.
The hamburger is made from the victims.
Yeah, it's
That's
people
what I'm
burgers.
thinking. Yeah.
Oh,
That's what
yes.
I'm thinking.
And in regards to Devin, Shannon Carrier says streaming only on Screenbox.
Right.
Yes.
that- Okay, the
Okay,
Screenbox it
answer.
is.
Yeah, I think you can rent it on VOD, but for the cost of Screenbox, you might as well just get it $4.99 and watch a whole bunch of other shit for the month.
True.
Absolutely.
Screenbox is a pretty good deal.
Still only $4.99.
Yeah.
It's cheap. It's cheap. It's one of the few I'm not trying to cancel. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're
me
not
too.
raising the price on me. To
Not
the
too
point
worried
of
about
rape.
that one.
Yeah, we've let 2 go now, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm still watching all the shit.
I know.
So it's like, I'm like, how many more of these can we let go? You know?
In regards to Terrifier 2,
Hmm.
Anthony Allen Jr. says, my favorite final girl. She's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And in regards to Heretic, Johnny Ray says, some people actually walked out during the showing I was at. I'm pretty sure the religious convo turned them off of it. That makes me love this film that much more. Not because it offended someone, but because it challenged them. Stay till the end, folks.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And
you could
that's
see
it.
some uppity people in the theater like, I can't believe they
Well, see, and that's what I would consider myself
Golly.
probably a religious person.
Right.
know,
Right.
in a gray area maybe, but I enjoyed it. I like the conversation. I like being challenged. I like
Mhm.
having that stuff out there.
But the same
If
people
you
that
can't have
got
a
up and
conversation
left,
about it.
those same people that got up and left, gladly sat and watched 2.5 hours of Jim Caviezel getting the shit kicked out of him.
Oh
You know.
God.
That's a rough movie.
That was a fucking tough watch, boy.
Yeah.
And they're doing a sequel to that one.
Are they?
How's that work?
Part 2, the resurrection.
The
Yeah.
resurrection. That's
fucking-
it. You nailed it.
The
Actually,
boulders
that
right
may be
there.
cool. I'll watch that.
Boom! He fucking kicks it
Yeah.
open and just starts wrecking shit. Bam, 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 like 300 style. Fucking tossing shit in slow motion, CGI blood. Yes.
That'd be badass, man. I'd be like, yeah, that's right. Don't fuck with the Jesus.
I would go see that in the theater. Directed by Zack Snyder.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. And then there's going to be the 7-part director's cut, right?
Oof. I tried to start that Rebel Moon director's cut. Brian, you're right. It's like really like it's the same movie, but like boy, like there's a lot of violence in the very beginning that wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
then
really?
there's like this very graphic sex scene right away. You're just like
That it just
Like,
like
continues.
none of
and
this
continues.
none of this was in
What's
the
wrong with that?
but and then like they cut back
I
to
didn't say there
fucking-
was nothing wrong. It just
they cut back to Yellow Jacket, you know, from the
Okay.
Marvel movies. He plays
Right.
like their leader or whatever with the big beard, and he's like, "Tonight is for
bald-headed guy?
fucking. You're gonna fuck, and you're gonna fuck, and we're gonna fuck." Like, what movie is this? And there's like the cover of it has like a robot with boobs.
yeah.
What?
That's what I've always wanted.
It's like, well,
Well, you can pay for those things now, Lance.
yeah, they exist.
I was gonna say, I figured the first like real AI robots instead of the
You've said-
Tesla robots would be like sex robots.
Of course.
Oh, that's happening. A
'Cause there's-
lot of R&D, you know.
There's a market. For
Oh,
that,
no doubt.
for sure.
the first person to tap into that market in a big way. Woo.
Yep. All right, that's it for listener feedback. Our intro and logos come from none other than Steve, right here.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.
On that note, I wanted to let you guys know that the Shocker shirt design is live on your store. That's
Available
officially
for
up,
sale.
available now,
All right.
and I am working on a new one that is going to take me some time. But I did just send you all in the Facebook Messenger the current status of that picture of where we're at right now with Mr. Jasper Jenkins hanging out with a very specific crew from a
Moving right along.
well-beloved
man.
movie.
Holy
So,
shit. Okay.
Cool. There's
Wow.
a man.
That is amazing. Yeah, we do have a lot of Clive Barker fans that send us their feedback, so they're gonna love this one.
And original skull artwork, of course, comes from Natsulani. Check her out on Instagram. And
you.
consider becoming a Patreon patron because we love you. We'll let you pick the movies for a future show at any amount. And for $5 or more a month, also pick a commentary for a future bonus show. Plus you get, to come on the show with us. That'd be awesome,
Yeah,
right?
That's the best part, right?
Yeah.
Finally kicked Steve off for a week.
Fuck that. Steve will show up too.
Fuck, we'll do all of us. Fuck it.
I had one day last week where I didn't record. I only didn't record
Yeah?
on Thursday.
Wow, that's a long week, man. Hectic.
All right, on to featured attractions. We'll continue our Children of the Corn retrospective with Disciples of the Crow and Children of the Corn Runaway. Disciples of the Crow from 1983. A couple passing through a small Oklahoma town discover that it had been taken over by a homicidal cult that worships a crow god,
Okay.
and that all the cult members are children.
Okay.
Writer and director is John Woodward, also known for Good Girl, Bad Girl.
Okay.
And the film takes place in October 1971 and 1983. I don't understand what that means.
I don't know. Time jump, right?
I guess
Well, the
so.
opening scene was
Oh, okay,
1971, and then it did the time jump.
Yeah.
Because remember, the kid with that weird smudge on his face.
Yeah,
Then-
yeah.
Right.
Then you
Oh,
had the
that's
guy-
right.
Then you had
That's
the
how you
older
could tell
guy
it was
with the
him.
weird smudge on his face.
That's right.
So, did this come out before Children of the Crow?
Yes.
Children
Children of the Corn.
Yeah, Children of the Corn. My bad.
Yeah, like less than a year before, right, guys?
Okay.
Didn't like it? That had to have been early '80s, right? Like
Yeah,
early to mid '80s.
So I guess it's maybe a little more like the short story. I guess we'll see. Lance, you're our guy for that. But Steve, you'll go first. What do you think about Disciples of the Crow?
So yeah. So Lance, this came out a year before the
Okay.
original,
Okay.
the other movie.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
But this is basically Children of the Corn, just shortened. They just removed
Like shortened.
some like
Yeah.
story bits, but you got all the stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's I don't know what to say about it really. I mean, it's Bert and Vicky coming across. What is it? Somewhere in Oklahoma. It's like fucking
Oh,
Jonah,
yeah.
Oklahoma, or
They say Oklahoma so many times.
That's half.
But
the
it's-
half the
it's-
20 minutes,
yeah.
huh?
it's not Nebraska, but so
Right.
but I guess there's not really a lot of like killing really. I guess there is not in this one. I keep
Nah.
I'm mashing it up with Runaway in my head right now, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
separate them.
Don't do
But,
that.
That's a dangerous thing.
Well, it was only 20 minutes. It's like hard to.
Well, and what I took away from
Right,
this was
Hard
like
to review.
I like Bert and Vicky in the original one because this couple is a bad couple.
They
are
hate each
they
other so
hate-
much.
they are so back and forth, bickering, fighting. And this lady's just on one about getting a cigarette the whole 20 minutes. She just
Oh,
needs that
yes,
cigarette.
that's right. That's right.
My favorite
Go.
scene was the radio's playing and then she hears something and turns it off and he's like, what did they say? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, what do you mean you don't know?
Arguing for the sake of arguing.
Yeah, the
Somebody's about to
dialogue
have
was,
black eye.
The dialogue was
man.
all over the place. The editing was smash cut. But I mean, the guy
Yeah.
that made this, the guy that directed it, wrote it, directed it, edited it. He was actually
Sure.
in it. He was the older version of the kid with the facial smudge.
Okay,
So like, you know,
okay.
this is grassroots filming, making. It's a little independent
Yeah.
movie, you know. I thought it was all right for what it was.
Yeah, just a little short film. Brian, what'd you think?
It was fine. I mean, it's like Steve said, if you don't got time to watch the original Children of the Corn movie, then watch this. You get all the beats in there.
You just
Yeah.
don't get those two little annoying kids that muck up half the movie, you know?
Yeah,
I know,
and
and that's the fun part.
you don't get in the original movie, you don't get the most toxic couple in this entire franchise.
Right. That's true.
That's yet to be seen. We're watching a remake next week, so
Oh,
or
forgot.
next time,
Oh,
next
boy.
time, not next week.
But it was fine. You got all the story beats in there. It kind of seemed like they didn't have He Who Rocks Behind the Rose. They had they prayed to the crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lance, is that in the original story?
No, this is like a microcosm of a short story even. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse. To me, this was like watching a trailer. I mean, this was like you didn't get any graphic kills, you didn't get any hilarious characters like Malachi, you didn't get any of that. You know,
Well, I
you
thought
definitely
I
didn't
thought
get
this-
any remote control cars. You know,
I thought
fucking
this
with
couple
people
was hilarious.
They were pretty bad, man.
When he takes
Pretty
the car
bad.
keys and then she cuts his hand and he looks at her like
Yeah.
he's about to become the ultimate supervillain.
Right.
He looked like when he looked at her and walked away, I was like, run, get out of there. When he comes
Right.
back, he's gonna kill you. Like, he's going to look for a weapon
I
right now.
thought he had one. He kept one of the corn shanks
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's right,
One of those
that's
corn
right.
prison shanks.
when he was being detective, and he was like, "I didn't kill this kid.
Yeah.
This corn shank did, and it didn't come from me."
What was with the little bird? Like they would put the cup of water and then the bowl of corn out. The little bird would
Back in
pivot.
1971
Little
part.
plastic.
I think it was blood. Was it blood?
Was it? I couldn't figure
because
that
that
out.
was I thought something was gonna
I
happen
want
because
more.
well they went and killed their parents right after that, right?
I think
Yeah.
they were. I think they were fertilizing the corn with blood.
With the
Oh
toy
God.
thing that bobs back and forth.
Okay, I think you
Yeah.
got it,
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah, probably not the most efficient way to do it, but you know.
It wasn't
But
even
how does that? But that
touching the
bob thing
water.
is like that's like a little like one of those little ball things that like snaps back and forth. It's just one of those little
Sure.
doohickeys
Yeah,
that sits on a
after the
shelf.
first time it touched the water, it never touched the water again.
That's
No,
just
no.
like
Oh,
that's
well,
probably
that's
just
fine.
like her favorite toy. It's 71.
See, I was thinking it was like
She doesn't have a
sucking
lot
up
of
the
other
water
things to
and
do.
then dripping a little bit, and then sucking up the water and then drip or the blood and then dripping a little
Well,
bit.
Movie
To-
magic. Movie
Well,
magic.
you
Philip.
just- you
Movie
just-
magic.
Made the short film a little bit better if that was
Yeah.
what was happening.
I thought though they missed an opportunity. I thought they were gonna
Yeah.
kill all the parents in the church. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna
Yeah,
go down in
right.
the church. And then it like cut away, and I was like, "Aw, like they're not even gonna show
I
it." And
know,
then their parents were
disappointing.
all still alive. I'm like, "What the
I
fuck?"
did enjoy the scene when all the kids went crazy at the end.
yeah.
Yeah, but they were bad. They didn't do a good job.
Right.
They had her. They
It
had
still
all the
looked
windows
hard.
broken. She's dead to rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
That was-
look at her. Her man comes through with fucking the Scottie Pippen fucking oof.
I know. Yeah.
He
absolutely.
hits the long three, lands right on the car, and then one of those kids knocks it in, just wildly flailing and acts
Now,
about.
tell me, did you think she was going to leave him?
Thought she
Yeah.
should have.
I
She
thought
probably
she
should've.
was. I thought she was
That
gonna
would've been
leave him
fucked
running
up.
behind the car.
That would have been a better ending, Brian, because
Yeah, it would have
in
been
this
a much
one-
better ending.
in this one they're like arm in arm, you know, and he's like kissing her. I'm like, get away from each other,
Give me
you
a
know.
break,
But
man.
like the knife is still in the hood, it's still in the radiator leaking.
yes.
So what would have been
yes.
better is
And then
is
the
if
check engine
she
light
left
comes
him, and then the car died, and then here
Right.
he comes
on. Wouldn't that be great?
And then
with a big ass shake. Ah!
and then he comes to kill her.
Have we said enough? This is pretty weak. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's like a very, very bad trailer to me. Like with no gore and no real action.
I kind of felt the same way. It was like the Cliff Notes version of Children of the Corn. It was it's all right.
Mole,
Very meh.
mole. That's all I keep thinking when that fucking guy was on. I'm
Fucking
like, you could have
Fred
given him
Savage.
anything. Give him a fucking scar right here. Do something.
Right,
you give him a
right.
big ass brown mole
I
right by his
know.
mouth. I'm like, that's your move. I'm like they saw like, and then the people that made that TV version of It saw that and they were like, we got to do that.
We got to use that. Yeah. Hey, it fulfilled its purpose then, right?
All right. Scores, Steve. What do you think?
I don't know, like on the Children of the Corn scale, it wasn't like offensive. Like it wasn't like bad for Children of the Corn shit. Like as far as Children of the Corn goes on that scale, it's probably like a 8 on that scale. I mean, it's like a 2 or 3, right?
On.
But like I don't know, how do we rate the Children of the Corn movies? Like I can't rate it like a real movie.
Any way you want, man. Any way you want.
I'll give this one a 4. We'll give Disciples of the Crow a 4.
Think of it.
4 on 10.
Think of how you guys had to do the Van Damme scale.
All right, you know what? All right. Okay, then on that, if it's doing that, then this gets like a 7.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
All right, Brian.
I'm kind of in the middle, like we all agreed on. This is like you said it perfectly, Phil. It's the cliff notes of the original movie, and the acting wasn't terrible. There was a lot of hilarious scenes in there, so I think I'm right at a 5.
Okay. Makes sense. Lance?
I'll give it a 3. You know, I mean, it wasn't terrible. I thought the little knife that looked like an ear of corn with a. I kind of like the ending. I do. I have to say I do kind of like the ending because you knew where it was going, right? Because that check engine light was flashing and the steam was coming out of the radiator, and you kind of knew where we were going. So, I mean, it's a setup, right? So I'll give it a 3.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like blasphemy to give us a 6, so I'm gonna give it a 5. Just because it's the OG, I mean, like,
sure.
This is the first Children of the Corn movie, and it wasn't even called Children of the Corn.
I guess so.
So I think it was a little indie film on a super duper low budget that was only 20 minutes long, and he filled the 20 minutes with stuff. Man, it was. You know what I mean? It wasn't boring.
And the movie that came out a year afterwards lifted some like shots straight off of this one. The shot where the car pulled in and parked in that dead city in the parking lot, like the angle of the camera, the way the car, everything was like the exact same shot.
Yeah, that's true. Because if you saw the original first and then seen this, you would have clearly thought this came out after.
Yeah. In fact, I wonder if they call it Disciples of the Crow because they couldn't get the rights to call it Children of the Corn. You think? Maybe it was kind of like an homage.
I don't know, but like Stephen King's known for his doing that dollar baby deal, especially back in the 80s and 90s, giving young filmmakers, as long as they pay him $1, they can use his stories. So.
Oh, that's cool.
So he must not have been too impressed then. He wouldn't even
take my name off of this shit. I'm over here making Maximum Overdrive on cocaine.
Well, but then they rocked it a year later. I think it was all right. It's also on YouTube in case you're looking for it. And yeah, it's only 20 minutes long, so worth the watch. All right, on to the next one. Children of the Corn, Runaway from 2018. Runaway follows a young pregnant Ruth who escapes a murderous cult in a small Midwestern town. She spends the next decade...
Or does she?
Yeah. She spends the next decade living anonymously in an attempt to spare her son the horrors that she experienced as a child. She lands in the small Oklahoma town, but something is following her. Now she must confront this evil or lose her child.
I see why you paired this one up. It's the Oklahoma connection,
Yeah,
Brian. Good call.
That's it. Good call. Brian's great at that, man.
He's got layers with Brian's picks.
Yeah.
He's like an onion. It's layers.
Director is John Gulager.
Krasinski?
I don't know. John Gulager, something like that.
Gulager.
Gulager. There you go. That makes more sense. Also known for Feast and Piranha 3 Double D.
What?
Yeah.
Huh.
Writer
Couple of
is
actually decent, fun movies.
I know.
Okay. Weird.
Writer is Joel Swanson, also known for Children of the Corn Revelation.
Of course.
Wow. This film was only pushed into
Swanson.
production because Dimension Films was about to lose the rights to Children of the Corn series. It did seem like it was maybe a different film, and they just sort of stuck
Yeah.
a Children of the Corn label on it.
Like, you know what we got to do? You add a little kid killing somebody right here.
There you
Fucking
go.
Children of the
And
Corn
show a
movie.
cornfield.
All right, Steve, what'd you think about Runaway?
So I'm watching this. I've seen this before, and I'm watching this time, and I'm like, you know, they're trying something new. You know, they're
Yeah.
taking a different angle. Now it's one of these kids that escaped, and what is their life after like? And I'm like, okay, I can actually respect some new things. And the kills are very few and far between, but the ones that they have are actually okay
Yeah.
on the Children of the Corn scale. And
Although kind of stupid Rube Goldberg setup, right? Like the guy
Yeah,
that
but
got piano wired.
that was awesome.
Running out of-
And the mechanic guy really gets it. But
Oh,
like,
that poor guy.
yeah, but like it's bogged. I think the movie gets bogged down
Got
with
it
a lot
after
of.
he didn't get it.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, the movie gets bogged down with a
Insult to
lot of
injury.
weird, like actual. I'm like, are you trying to be a real movie?
Right.
You don't want to add like actual drama and real acting? Like it felt like the movie was not sure what it wanted to be. I did think that the kids were creepy. And I actually thought that the ending was all right. And did you see the after credit scene? There is one.
Yes.
Oh,
I
no,
did.
I didn't know that there
Yeah.
was one.
And it was
the entity
fucking-
wrapping its.
Yeah, it was like creepy. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit. Like maybe they put this out because it was like going straight to video. The movie was boring in the middle. There was a big
Oh
chunk
my god.
of the
it
middle.
Went full it went full Lifetime, Steve.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
highs of this movie for me are really high, but the whole middle section of the movie is just so fucking boring. But then like stuff starts to happen again. And once the waitress
Sure.
gets involved, I'm like, oh shit.
Right.
But that just leads me to like this whole thing. Like, how big is this fucking Children of the Corn cult? I want that
I
answered
know.
now. Like, so I'm mixed right now on it. But
Okay.
the lows were low, but the highs were high. So
True. Brian, what'd you think?
I didn't hate it. I don't think it's the worst out of this franchise we've seen. I think the acting was pretty solid. I do agree with you, Steve. The movie doesn't know what it is. Maybe that's the fact that they, like you said, Phil, they kind of shoehorned Children of the Corn shit into this movie and threw it out there as the next one in the franchise. I thought the kills when they happened were cool. I thought certain things they were doing, like the blood spray that was not moving, kind of just sprayed out there in freeze frame, and the
Yeah,
whole reversing stuff. I thought that all looked cool.
I don't know why they did it, but
I don't know why they did it
looked
either.
cool.
It didn't make any sense.
I mean, it didn't
No,
make
like,
any
it did
sense,
look
but
cool.
it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe she's replaying it in her mind, and that's
I
think
think
she
that's
was
what they were trying to
slowly-
get across. Yeah.
remembering her traumatized past that she blocked out.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna
That makes-
take it.
That makes
Mhm.
sense, Brian. Makes sense.
And it was just as slowly as she was remembering it, she thought it was happening to somebody else. But then it got revealed, no, this is what happened in her past. And I
Makes
got
sense.
to say, I didn't see the thing coming with the waitress.
yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I thought
that-
she was just another victim.
And that makes me think that your idea of it being like shoehorning in Children of the Corn stuff, like
Yes.
this movie
Yes.
maybe was just like about her escaping a cult. You
Uh-huh.
know?
Yeah.
In general.
And then they're just like film some scenes with some kids and throw them in there.
Yeah,
Throw
that's
a
probably
Because
what
this
it
whole
is.
movie works as her just escaping a cult.
Yeah.
on
And
a
there
whole other
there
level.
was some cool stuff with the kids too, like the playground scene where she looks behind her and all the kids
Mhm.
are bouncing the basketballs in
basketballs, yeah.
sequence.
Oh, in sequence, that was a
Yeah.
good shot.
There's-
See, there's some
there's-
shit.
Yeah, there's good stuff in here. It's just like I agree, Steve. The whole middle stuff when she's trying to get a job and trying to get her kid in school, I'm just like, I don't.
I'm a good
care
mechanic, and I'm
where
gonna do this. And
the best
Well-
mechanic you've ever had here. He's like, you just met him. You don't know that.
he might have had like the greatest mechanic of all time.
And
Right.
I know that guy was helping her out and stuff, but he was sort of a jerk the whole movie.
Yeah, when she tells him
Well-
no, and he's like, "I've been nothing but nice to you." I'm like,
You're
okay.
fired.
I know. Like, you owe
Okay.
me, bitch.
Here's a week's pay. Be out of here.
Damn.
But there was some good stuff in there. I think the good
The
stuff.
most awkward sex scene ever.
Ow, my leg. Ow, ow. That's where I was like, "Is this trying to be like a real movie? Because this feels like too real." Like,
I did it. So look, so the boys saw them like in the act or whatever, and then she freaked out. I was thinking, is this like some kind of Oedipus complex thing where like the boy wants to fuck her? Or it's sort of getting really awkward for me.
I did get
Like
that.
I would have
Yeah, I
just
didn't
said,
get
look,
that.
I'm the fucking grown up. Get your fucking ass back up to the room.
I
Slam
as
the
the
door
as
on
the
it.
man in that situation, that's what you would have said. You would have got
No,
yours tossed out too.
if I was the mom, I would have said, get the hell upstairs.
No, I
This ain't
think
for
that
you.
her mom probably has had a few relationships with other men as they're kind of drifting
Okay.
around, and
Gotcha.
is basically, oh, my mom's doing it again. She's
Here we go again.
Well, maybe the living room is a bad fucking idea if you have
That's
kids.
true too. That's true too.
In full view of the stairs. Like, just,
Yeah.
like, damn, y'all. There's not a door to be found, huh?
Yeah.
I think he handled it well. The kid came
Right.
down. He was like, "Oh, there's nothing going on here. Everything's fine. Go back
Yeah,
upstairs."
nothing to
We're
see
just
here.
wrestling.
Just helping me with my bad leg.
As he's buckling his belt. Yeah. The kid's like, he's like 13. Like, he's not
Right.
dumb.
I know.
That's true. He's not a 4-year-old, right?
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck? Were you just trying to bang them up? like he's
So
not
did-
dumb.
So did this guy for his leg? Did he go to the same surgeon that Matthew McConaughey did in the one Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie? Did he have like a remote control for it or anything like that?
He looked like a
In an
combination
alternate
of,
universe.
he looked like Ludacris and Kid Cudi had a baby.
Wow.
Right?
But now that you say it, I was like, I can't pin
Oh,
my finger on
man.
who that looks like. Well, they look like two different
Right.
people.
But that little girl in the yellow dress just banged the shit out of his leg with that wrench, huh? Like, why did he let her get that close to him? And I'm thinking, well, I
That
guess
was
he
a-
thought she
but-
couldn't hurt him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we just talking now, or did you guys all?
I
know
Yeah.
guess.
what I'm
Just thinking outside the box here.
doing? Okay, I was just like, I thought that the kill scene with him was great with the girl in the yellow dress, like
Yeah.
the
Brutal.
chase around, like the
Yeah.
slow chase, because he's crawling. You know,
Right.
he can't. He gets into the van and locks it. I loved it. He's like, locks the door. Bam! She shatters the
Right.
window. I'm like, of course, dummy. So good.
She's like
Ah.
Abigail. She likes to play with her food, right?
Yeah, when she was like, when he looked behind her and she was skipping in the background, like,
Yeah.
dude, that's creepy shit, man. That little girl's
Yes,
gonna kill
very.
you. She has a
So-
very big range.
So at the end, is that kid the new Malachi?
I guess.
Yeah,
It
yeah. I would
looked that
assume
way,
he's
didn't
like
it?
the
Seem
new
yeah.
Messiah kind of.
So, but the little girl was the lady the whole time, right? Or no?
See, that's part of my problem. Was she or wasn't she? And was
I
she
don't.
even
It
there?
was hard to tell what
And-
was real in this movie.
Well,
that's
the people-
what kind
but-
of sucked about it.
So, are you saying like, did us as the viewer saw the little girl, but it was supposed to be the mom?
Right.
Like a memory? Like,
Sure.
was she really there? I
But
think
isn't
so.
that
Yeah, I think.
like, because at the end, isn't that kind of what sort of happens? Like she sees the little girl by the bed covered
Right.
in blood, and then they clip
Sure.
over
Then
and
she
she's
wasn't
actually
there.
covered in
And
blood.
she's
Yeah.
there. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
covered in blood. And then at the very, very end, the after credits, which, I don't know if we all saw them, but like she's out there skipping through the cornfields, and then the entity, he who rocks behind the rose, comes behind her and just like
Yo,
envelops her.
it's this
Oh.
black smoke that comes up, and then this
It's pretty cool
arm
looking, actually.
comes
Pretty
around, and
decent
it's like
effect,
it
yeah.
looks like like almost like an elephant arm, like the way
Yeah.
it comes. It was like all scaly and weird. I was like,
The,
what
the little girl or
fuck?
the lady?
No, like the little girl. She's
okay.
in a little yellow dress with her hair,
Mhm.
and she turns around, looks at the camera, and the smoke comes from behind her, and this black weird arm comes around, and just
Yeah.
like wraps around her like a hug.
It's a great effect.
I was like,
it was a
"Oh,
really
fuck."
good. It's the best part of the movie, really.
So she
It was better than that shit we
possessed.
got in Urban Harvest when they showed He Who Rocks Behind the Rose as a weird
Yeah.
brute monster.
That's right. Maybe not as much fun, but
So she was like possessed the whole time by this thing, I think.
seems that way. That's
Maybe
my
that was
problem.
maybe the after credits was like a flashback.
But the only
I think
the only
so.
reason I
Yeah, I
don't
think
think it
so,
was the only reason I don't think it was actually the mom killing those people is because, especially with the man that got piano wired, he called her like a little, he was talking about her as a child. He was like, "Come
Oh,
here,
yeah,
you
that's a good
little
point.
rascal," and all this stuff, and like,
Well,
and when she went after the handicapped guy, like, he would have been saying a whole bunch of different shit if it was the mom. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
also true.
He probably still would have been talking about not fucking.
Yeah. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. You can have your job back. Anything like,
Right.
Did you come back here where we have a nice private area to do this? Because that makes way more sense.
a little more sense.
But like when the son knifed her, like, I was
Right.
like, damn.
That was kind of brutal. That was pretty brutal. There were some good kills in here. I gotta admit, man. There were some really good kills. But man, you talk about rocky storytelling. Like, I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
And maybe that
editing
was the
a
point.
little-
Yeah, but maybe that was the point, right? Maybe you're not supposed to know what's real and what's in their mind, and I don't
She's
know.
kind of all
Well,
over
I
the
get
place,
it, but
so.
you got to tie that shit up at the end of the movie.
You would think so, right? And I thought it was a little bit silly making the the waitress from the diner being what she ended up being there at the end of the part she played, and I don't know, man, too choppy, too all over the place for
Well,
me.
yeah,
but
because-
some fun kills.
So they're playing fast and loose with the rules now. Now Children of the Corn are like,
Right.
we'll let people that are adults help us, like, if we're cool with them. Like,
There
that
you
waitress
go.
was
There you
way
go.
too old. She should have been.
Well, but I felt like the
Yeah.
waitress was like,
I thought she was one of the kids.
She was, but like
Yeah.
in the original
Wait,
movie,
what?
they killed those kids when they were 18.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
she's
right.
one of those
Yeah.
kids, but she
Logan-
grew up
Logan
and she's
Friend
still
style.
helping them. But I'm like,
Yeah.
but you're not. You're breaking your own rules.
I thought
Because-
Yeah,
she was
kinda
just like
weird.
he who rocks behind the rose. That's what I thought it was. It like just.
Oh, you
taking
think like she's like the entity taking
the
a
thing?
human
Yeah,
form?
she was taking this form.
But she was.
I don't know about that. That's a stretch, Philip.
I've
You
never
think?
seen it. Well, I mean, if we've seen
I
it.
mean, she was
Look,
kind of running
He's a
shit.
smoke monster.
I guess that's
He's a
true.
big tree
I guess that's
monster.
true.
I don't
Yeah.
know. He could be. He's
Yeah,
that
I
weird
guess he could-
lump
yeah.
in the ground. You know,
Right.
he's a Bugs Bunny.
That's true. Stick that should have taken that right turn at Albuquerque.
All in all,
Hey.
though, I like.
All right.
It's not bad.
All right. Not bad. One of the better of the Children of the Corn movies. I thought it was. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It was a little all over the place. But
A little.
they tried
A
they
little
tried
all over the
something.
place.
They tried something different. And
Yeah, I
the
guess.
acting was pretty legit. The story didn't make a ton of sense, and it was real slow in the middle, like Steve said.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what it was. All right, scores, Steve. What do you think?
6.5. 6.5
Wow.
on this one.
Brian?
I'm gonna go slight bit higher, 6.75.
Jesus.
Interesting score.
Damn, the Price is writing it. All right. I see you. I'm gonna raise you. I'm gonna put it
Price
7.
is
No.
right.
I bet $1. Lance, what do you think?
I gotta give it a 2.
Ouch.
That's
2.
right.
I think it
Come
deserves a
on.
2.
I mean, look, dude, that piano wire kill was
This
so
is
much
better.
fun
This
and-
movie's better than Night Swim, bro. This is
Ah.
ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This
Sadly,
is better
you're
than Night
probably
Swim.
right, and that just goes to show you how much I fucked up on my score of Night Swim. That's going to be the running theme of 2024 with me was my Night Swims. But I gotta get back to my honesty here and my roots and what did I really think about the story and how did I really like the way they wrapped it up or tried to wrap it up. And Maybe I just missed something. Maybe I need to rewatch it, but I won't. But I got to give it a 2. Sorry.
So
Not
this
my
movie
favorite
is
Children
just
of
as
the
good
Corn.
as Cuckoo.
Sure.
Well,
no,
I think
but no Dan Stevens with a piccolo.
numbers over here are just wild.
They don't.
We
they
try.
don't-
We try.
Our numbers don't mean anything over here.
No.
It's the same as our. on
Like
our
you
show,
said, we don't get
ratings.
paid, so.
Yeah.
I think 6 is a pretty good score for this one. It's
Okay.
I think it's one of the more solid Children of the Corn movies. It's not super duper cheesy. It tries to take itself
It's
seriously.
not? Okay.
No, I don't think it was super cheesy. I think they were trying to take themselves
Huh.
seriously, and it
Okay.
wasn't just like really, hey, dude in the alley, come over here and act in this movie for a minute.
Right.
Like they actually had a little bit of chops. The writing was all over the fucking place, but
Yeah.
uh,
Well,
I didn't hate it. It was a little slow. I was sort of excited about it when I first started watching it, and then
Yeah.
I got sort of bored, and then they sort of brought it back at the end. So
We'll save your excitement for next week. I believe the remake and the reboot.
Okay. The remake and the reboot. All right.
Why not? Why not? And then we're
It's-
done,
it's-
Brian.
it's better
And
than-
then we're done.
But like,
We're
no,
done until they make another one.
Okay.
no David Carradine, no Eva Mendes.
I
At least it was
know.
kids in
Oh,
this
we
movie.
got-
In a chair.
We
know?
did.
Yeah.
There was somebody I
Well, now-
recognized.
Eva
Who's
Mendes
that?
made that one a top Children of the Corn movie.
I don't know if you guys.
No pun
know-
intended.
I don't know if you guys know Clue Gallagher, the old man that was looking at the waitress's tits the whole
Yeah,
movie.
the name sounds
Oh.
familiar. Yeah.
He was in Return of the Living Dead.
That's right. That's right.
And-
Oh, okay.
I think he was also in Creepshow.
Well, you got
Okay.
some cred in
Well,
there.
there's some
alright.
street cred. Street cred. All right. All right.
If you're ranking these, this is up near the top, man.
Yeah,
of the
For
Children
me,
of the
I'm
Corn
sorry,
movies.
dude. It's my least favorite so far.
Really?
You
It
keep.
is what
You
it
don't
is,
remember.
dude. We
You just
like
don't
what we
remember.
like.
You have selective
I
memory.
just don't remember. You're
That's
right.
not
I don't
possible.
remember.
I don't believe it.
All right. Well, let's see how the other two turn out. All right.
Brian,
Look,
but-
before we head out, Steve, if anybody wants to relive the glory of that Tyson fight, do you guys have that available streaming anywhere?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's up on YouTube. You can check it out because Sean
All
was
right.
pulling up clips of it and making fun of us.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. We would absolutely love to hear your feedback and ideas. You can reach us at thehorrorreturns@gmail.com or just go to our website, thehorrorreturns.com. We make it nice and simple. All of our social, you can follow all the stuff Brian posts for our socials from there. And next week, Darren Wilson from Psychosemantic Podcast is going to join us. And thank God, not Black Christmas, but rather Black Friday, which was the one with Bruce Campbell about 2 or 3 years ago, Brian. Is that correct?
Oh,
Does that
Yeah.
also have
I
Devin
was trying to
Sawa?
figure out what the fuck that
Devin
was.
Sawa.
I believe Devin saw it
Michael
as well.
Jai White.
That's
It's-
that's a good one. Those are good
Sounds
ones.
like Steve's going to be back next week too, folks. So we're going to have another.
Yeah.
So Steve, as always, thanks for joining us, brother. And until
Thank
the
you for
horror
having me.
returns again, Steve.
Good night.